We're travelling from Europe to Asia, a journey of thousands of miles, taking in some of the most amazing sights in Turkey.
And now the winding road has brought us to an area called Cappadocia.
A land of chimney-shaped rocks, underground cities, and one of the strangest museums you'll ever see in your life.
Right, it's the crack of dawn. In fact, it's before the crack of dawn. The sun isn't even out yet. I'm not a particularly good morning person, but apparently what we're about to see now is worth it.
This landscape is famous for its rock formations known as fairy chimneys, and the best way to see them is from the air.
And there's only one way to fly in Cappadocia, by hot air balloon, something none of us have ever done before.
This has always been one of my life's ambitions, to go in a hot air balloon, and it's so clear out that I reckon we're going to get an amazing view.
Yeah, good. Hot air balloons actually work quite simply. Because warm air is a lot lighter than cold air, it rises. Pump some warm air into a balloon like this, all it wants to do is rise high into the sky.
Soon the balloon was fully inflated. We were ready for liftoff.
Okay, see you up there.
Adios, amigos.
This is so magical, isn't it? It's quite a weird feeling when you take off, because it's not like anything I've felt before. You know, usually you go forwards or down an escalator or whatever, but this is just totally new.
There's no wind at all, so I presume we're just rising straight up.
Everybody said that the best way to see this place is from the air, and they were absolutely right. It's amazing.
The landscape below us was like nothing we'd ever seen before. It was as if we were flying over another world.
The main thing that takes your breath away is these chimney rocks. There's hundreds of them.
They were formed thousands of years ago after volcanoes erupted. The lava from the eruptions hardened and over time was worn away to leave these chimney-shaped rocks.
It's a bit like floating over a massive meringue, or like the icing that you put on a Christmas cake when you make it look like snow. The chimneys were more useful than you might think. In fact, people used to live in them. The rock was so soft they were able to burrow out rooms inside.
Our flight above the fairy chimneys was nearly over.
Right, about to land. Putting us down.
Our pilot was aiming for a trailer that was exactly the same size as our basket. There was no room for error.
He's not going to land in the trailer, is he?
Whoa,
Are we going to land on this?
That's amazing.
You're joking.
Hey!
Fantastic. Yeah. Look. Oh, hello, sir. That's very nice.
We made it back down to Earth.
I don't need anyone to help me.
Some more gracefully than others.
You can, sir. It was time to see what else lay in store for us in the land of the fairy chimneys.
We'd each be going our separate ways to discover three very different parts of this rocky world.
First up, I went to meet a man with a cave full of surprises.
Merhaba Galip.
Merhaba, nasılsın?
Should look around?
Tabii buyurun, gel.
Cappadocia is famous for its pottery, and potters don't come much more talented than Galip. Apparently, he can make one from scratch in under 2 minutes.
Paddy!
Time to put him to the test.
It's more physical than I imagined. Right, he's 8 seconds into it. It's a bit like fairy chimneys. Oh, look at that, it's so clever. But we've come up to a minute now. It's halfway through. At the moment, we're at 1 minute 40, but to me, that looks like a pot, and he's painting it now. OK, we're at 1 minute 55. Finished?
Evet.
2 minutes and 3 seconds.
Impressive stuff, Galip. It can't be that hard. Can it?
It's really hard to get the thing to move. I don't know how he does it.
I was quickly realising the chances of me turning this lump of clay into a pot were slim. I had to salvage something, though. Then it dawned on me, maybe this was never meant to be a pot. Maybe this could be something even more impressive.
I'm going for a teapot.
Tamam,
Stop.
tamam.
There you go. My very own Blue Peter teapot.
Gallop isn't just into pottery, though. He's also the proud owner of one of the weirdest collections you'll ever see.
Oh, that's really weird.
This is the only hair museum anywhere in the world.
It's really odd. Lots of hair. Lots.
For 30 years, Gallop's been collecting thousands of snippets of hair from people visiting his cave.
That's a lot of hair in one room. In '98, there was around 16,000 pieces of hair. He has no idea how much there is now, and he wants me to count. So let's start here. 1, 2.
Joel, your cave was definitely weird, but what I was about to discover was pretty unbelievable too. It's not just the rock above ground that Cappadocia is famous for. This is one of 400 cities beneath the surface. 3,000 years ago, people used to live down here to keep themselves safe from invading armies. There's no one here now, but we can still have a look around. The city is built on a series of levels that go deeper and deeper underground. They're all connected by a maze of narrow passageways. We're 2 floors down now, and this is about 10 metres beneath the surface. This tiny room is where 10 people would have lived, but this is luxurious. Apparently, it's going to get a lot more cramped. It would be easy to get lost down here, but that was kind of the point. If the enemy ever got in, they'd quickly lose their way. And they had another trick up their sleeve. If attackers did get in, these big circular rocks could be rolled over to block their enemy's path. This one city would have been home to up to 10,000 people. I was going deeper and deeper. By the time I got to the bottom of the city, I was 8 floors beneath the surface, the equivalent of 20 buses stacked one on top of the other. I don't think that I would want to live down here, because you really feel the need to stretch out and you can't. The other thing that I think is really weird about being down here, you've got no idea what's going on outside. You'd be lost in time, wouldn't you? Thankfully, no one needs to live in a place like this anymore, but some people do still choose to use the rock here as their home.
I'm off to meet a family who live inside a fairy chimney.
This is a place.
Merhaba, hoş geldiniz.
Yeah, I could see you too. Can I come in? First sign of the rock there. Oh, hello, brother and sister. How are you? You all right? It's actually just a massive rock and everything's been carved into it. You can still see. There's rock as well on the sea.
Merve Kubra and Said's home feels just like a normal house. It's not until you go back outside that you realise the whole thing is inside a fairy chimney.
Looks like we've reached the top of the rock. And would you look at that view? It's really cool. This rock world is so different to what I know in the city. It's really beautiful.
Very beautiful.
Very beautiful, yeah. Nice.
Güle güle.
Gule gule! I think for all of us, but especially me, Cappadocia is definitely one of those places we'll not forget in a hurry.
Hi! Like, guys, there was hair everywhere. Hair, pottery, pottery, hair everywhere. There's white hair, black hair, grey hair, blue hair, orange hair, loads of hair.